Hey everyone, this is Show, your friend, and we are recording our first video. Let's go to portal.azure.com on your browser, and once it's done, you see the portal of the Azure will open. Search for app registrations. Yes, that is the one. Once you click, you see there will be owned applications and all applications. And what did you choose is new registration. Here, you need to provide a display name for your application registration. Let's say access token power pages, right? So you see you can either connect with the same organization, multi-organization, personal Microsoft accounts, and more. Here it's endpoints, app ID, object ID, tenant ID, and so much more. First we need to generate a client secret. So here we are in new client secret. We put a description, let's say trial token, right? Now here you see there's a custom option where you can choose the start and end of your token, right? But for now, let's keep it to 90 days. Add. Okay, so you see there's a value and there's a secret ID. What you need to choose is the value, not the secret ID, guys. Be careful about it. So client secret is your, yeah, that's done. Next, let's go back to our overview, right? So we have generated our client secret. What do we do next? We copy these tokens, let's say client ID, and in a secure way. Client ID done. Next is your tenant ID. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. We can also add a redirect URI. We can add a application URI, token page, and so much more. Okay. What is important here? The next step, which is you need to add a permission, grant the permission for the Azure to access your Dataverse, the dynamic CRM. So you see, we did allow a user impersonation. Now grant admin for the consent for your organization. In this organization we are working on. Okay, so now next, once all of this is done, we'll move to the Power Apps, make.powerapps.com. In the session details, you see there will be an instance URL which will have the organization URL of your account. As said, it is always a good practice to securely save the credentials. Right. Now, what do? We go to admin.powerplatform.microsoft.com. Now, here on the manage, you see you have your environment. Click on it, go to settings, go to users plus permissions, application users. Okay, what's next? New app user. Now, we have to register the same app that we have created on the Azure portal. We have created access token power page. Add. Business unit is your organization. Okay. Now, its best practice is to create a role for this kind of token access. For now, I'm using a system administrator. Save it. Confirmation, save, done. Now you see we have our access token power page over here, right? Okay, that's said. That comes to end of our app registration. As a bonus, we are working on a live example, right, which I'm working from one of the clients. Here we will update the credentials and verify the access and get the access through access token, right? I'll just hold you here for a second. You see there's a grant type, there's a client ID we are working, there's a client secret we are working, and the scope. So grant type always is your client credentials, your client ID we have already copied, right? The secret we generated, client secret also. Over here we have generated an access token, right? The request says 200, which means it is a correct URL and granting us the access. Okay, this was one of the tasks we were working on. Here what we are doing is we were accessing the Dataverse web API using web API and access token, right? Yes, let's say it's a get message, attribute, email, mobile. Okay, so on select of the contact lookup, we need the email address and mobile phone updated on here. Yeah, let's see. Okay, there you go. That's it.